Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Pit Against a live weekly flesh and blood call-in show. It's words. I'm William Table Legs. I'm joined by my constant co-host Kevin Smurph Murphy. Kevin, what's up?
What's up?
Pit Against is a live call-in show. If you'd like to be live on air talking to us about your hot take, join the Pit Against Discord by clicking on the link that's in the description. Then you can join the waiting room channel, put your hot take in the topics text channel, and if we like your take, we'll put you on air for a mic check. And then you can also put a take in the topics channel, text channel, Steam chat, or in the comments for me to bring up if you can't make it on. Kevin, what's actually up? What's going on? How are you doing?
I'm in ban list waiting room because we need to see what the hell happens.
Everyone is. Everyone is. We're all so excited.
We're just
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's gonna happen. Just give me the ban list. Give it
right?
to me early. I don't care. I want to be able to do stuff and feel like I'm
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where I'm moving forward.
It's Monday, right? Is that when we're getting
Yes.
it? Okay, that's not too far away for us.
No.
But it is this whole weekend is going to be how much do I need to be thinking about these decks? Even Kevin's really quiet. Let me turn Kevin up. I appreciate you telling me that. Kevin, say something louder.
Louder. We're gonna try this again and see if this worked. Hang on. Let me actually make sure that I'm on the correct one.
Okay. Does he sound better? While he's talking about sounding better.
Come here.
Also, I've been playing a lot of LL because LL is going to be the format of ProQuest season, and I want to make sure that my deck list that I'm practicing for such a crazy crazy format. It's so different than it just feels very different than CC.
Yes.
And so I want to make sure that the deck I'm testing. Can you make a little louder? No.
That's weird.
Kevin's at 79% on Discord for some reason. Kevin is now at 100%.
Oh, maybe that'll help.
I didn't know he was like that.
Yeah.
If he's too loud, let me know. My stats say he's still quieter than me, but we'll see. Gordon, you're so silly. We've seen both cats on stream already. This is great. So yeah, I want to make sure that the deck that I'm practicing and playing, because I'm trying to make sure that the deck I have is what I want it to be, is right. But I just don't know until the bans happen, because there could be LL bans. There could be CC bans. There could not be both of those bans.
Yeah, there could be nothing, and that would be fine.
Kevin's really loud for me. I hope he's really loud. Frick.
Hi, bud.
I think I need to turn the volume I hear down. There we go. Okay.
Whoa.
So what was I getting at?
Yeah.
We're in ban list waiting room. We just want to see what the bans look like. And Gordon. So that's the main thing. It's not that we're without anything to talk about. Kevin's fine now? Perfect, because he's cranked up on everything and I couldn't turn him up any louder if I wanted to. Everyone, double check your microphones at home. Comment down below if you are watching this video in post, and let me know what you think as a not stream enjoyer. Agroblaze, listening to this in his free time. We weren't here last week because you weren't feeling super well because you got con crud from going to somewhere.
Kansas City.
Kansas City. How'd that go?
It was fine. 8-4 for 38th, I think it was, which is all right. I got to play day 2 for free, and I didn't get waitlisted for the Battle Hardened, so
nice. And neither did your last round opponent. Was it last round?
On day 1?
Wyatt?
Yeah, Wyatt played, and I played for winning into day 2.
Yeah.
Both at 4-2. And I kind of juiced him, and he immediately went over and signed up for the Battle Hardened, and it capped 5 minutes later. And then he top 8'd the Battle Hardened. So that worked out. But
Yeah.
I,
But
I put a whole report up later. If people want that, they can go find that.
and it was good. I listened to it. I was it was interesting to hear because I got to hear Wyatt's side of the weekend before yours, and there's parts where you spent more time on than he spent more time on, specifically the game between y'all.
Yeah.
And so it was just good. It was just good listening to it from both sides. It seemed, I mean, y'all both had a great weekend, right? Like you hit day 2 of the calling and played pretty good games. Like I think most of the games that I was hearing about, they were like solid games. And then Wyatt top 8'd along with our buddy Austin.
Battle
hardened, yes. Clarity. Battle hardened top 8'd with Austin, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was all pretty nice. I guess we'll get into like conversations on freaking the stuff that has happened. I say the stuff that has happened. Specifically, I guess where do you want to start? No, I know where I wanted to start. I wanted to start with is there any cards? There's been spoilers that come out. Any of them super interesting to you that have come out in the last 2 weeks that you want to talk about briefly?
I don't think so. Let me check real quick. It's all I think the Huntsman one is fine. I think the Olympia one is fine. The Puffin one is fine, but doesn't move anything. And I think the Earth Wizard one, everyone knows, is just kind of a crazy card.
That card's crazy. I think we talked about Take the Bait, Blood Flows, Blade. Follows the Blade, yeah. Backspin Thrust is just all the upside you could want on a card. Like, what the frick? It's kind of cool.
Work a little bit for it.
Sure.
But like if your deck isn't working, it's not going to be good. But like if your deck isn't working, it's not working.
Yeah.
But when your deck is working, like it's a pretty good card. It's a weird middle piece where it's in that Revel and Runeblood spot, but like it's going to be good there.
Yeah, but Revel and Runeblood's good, right? Like
it's a powerful card.
Yeah.
That you have to work a little bit for.
It requires
this is probably like the same spot.
The deck to be built around it a bit.
Yeah.
So
like you have to have a cog and have a way to tap it for this to go again. Now you can just chain end with this. It's still wounding below floor, but like
you're also
when this works, it's great.
You want your deck to be doing that stuff anyways.
Yeah.
So if you make your deck consistent, this card's good. Yeah, a bunch of glue piece cards. I was super excited about the Huntsman card. That card actually crazy.
That card's nifty.
It's like if Huntsman had like 2 or 3 more of those, he'd be caught up with Riptide and the amount of specializations he has, and then
and meta impact.
Yes, they would both be solidly B tier. I do think this card moves Arachne up from Arachne tier to F tier, which I think is cool.
Yeah, it's actually D tier instead of...
Yeah, I think he's right beside Olympia instead of a little bit below him.
I think Decimator Olympia actually gets really annoying with that armor set.
I don't want to test to see how good that is.
I don't either. I want it to not be a thing. I hope they ban Decimator, actually. They could just do that. That'd be sick.
It's funny because I think the Olympia players, or at least the ones that I've talked to, don't want to be doing that anyways.
They don't want.
It's like their best plan, and they're like,
yeah. And it just got 8 health better.
It's so funny how like there's a very clear like fantasy niche that the Warrior players want to do. Like they want to do this one thing, so we give you one hero that deals with allies, and the other one just has a block weapon. Or a weapon that revolves around you blocking and attacking, playing the Guardian playstyle instead of more of a Warrior playstyle. And then Kasai is just play allies, and some of them are like not excited about that either. So it's funny. It's funny how that class is spread out in the way it has. I think that's it for new cards.
There isn't really a ton.
Is there a topic you want to talk about next?
Dude, am I talking about this next?
I'm asking you because we can talk about something else first, and then we can get around to that.
All right. I want to talk about this nonsense where people think that Blitz is better than CC.
Okay, let's hear it.
For context,
backstory,
a short from DM Armada off his channel.
It's from
Agroblaze is talking about.
It's from a stream. It's from a
Give and Take.
Yeah, it's from Give and Take. It's from a bigger show.
But the short, I just pulled the short because it's just the take, and it's not the full discussion. But Aggro basically gives the take that Blitz is a better format than CC because it encourages you to use your armor more aggressively because you get punished harder for your mistakes, so they matter more, and a bunch of other stuff that just like didn't quite sit right with me.
Okay.
And I thought was one step away from figuring out why CC is good.
All right.
Is the way I'll put it.
Sure. Let's hear it out.
So to make I'm gonna start actually with that armor point because the more I think about it, the more like
I think I'm gonna give a little more context before we start.
Sure,
We're good friends with Agroblaze. I think yes. I'm a good friend with Steven, Mr. Armada, and our boy Frick. I'm on the spot. TCG Talk. Yes, yeah. We love all of these people, and we talk to all these people. In good spirit, poking at each other. Healthy discussion. We're bringing up their points because that's the point of the show. Is you dive into these topics.
They had a hot take. And I want to talk about it.
I also do want to say it is kind of funny that all three of them were on that show and all two of us are on this show. And honestly, I think a better discussion would be us together, talking about it back and forth. And I also think the final conclusion will probably be to each their own a bit.
Most
likely, right?
In terms of if you prefer playing Blitz, play it.
Yes.
But the reasoning for why they say Blitz is a better format is something I disagree with.
Okay. Let's get into that.
Because, So, like, the fundamental piece of it, I think, is your choices matter more.
Okay.
Because the game is shorter.
Yeah.
You start with less health. Your deck is smaller, whatever, like, all of those things. Which is just fundamentally, it's a 20 health format.
Yeah, certain laws and principles on the percentage of how impactful something is based on how much space it can fit in or whatever.
If you make a 3 health mistake, that is twice as impactful in Blitz.
Yeah.
As in CC. Sort of.
Okay.
If you're going purely by proportion, sure. But a 3 health mistake is still a 3 health mistake in either format.
It may be a 3-point mistake, like however you might want to describe it.
3-point. Those are kind of. It's hard to.
It's interesting because it's like. Yeah, go ahead.
The bigger issue is, at the end of the game, it doesn't matter what health you started at. If you're down by 3 health. At the end of the game, your opponent is still at 3 and you're at 0.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if you started at 20 or at 40. You still lost by a 3 health.
Sure. Okay. No, I see what you're saying.
And then the follow-up to that is, well, but you have more time to make up for the mistake. And it's like, well, in a CC game. Well, it's like, okay, how are you making up for that mistake?
Oh, I see where you're getting at. I see where you're getting at now. Okay. It's not that you're necessarily... It's not like a, how do I describe this? It's not like there's, it's like
that mistake is more impactful.
It's more like it's more like in sports, how when you score points, those points are defined and finite and they have been scored and they don't necessarily impact the outcome or the next play. Like in football, you score 7 points and then you go right back to, first down.
You started the drive.
Yeah. Whereas in like League of Legends, if you lose a team fight, well, you've also lost money, you've also lost positioning, you've lost waves.
That directly affects your next
Yes.
fights.
Yes. Yeah.
Which there is going to be some of that in Flesh and Blood of you make a mistake, you arsenal a different card, it messes with the hand 2 turns down.
Yeah.
But their argument was you get punished more severely because you don't have as much time to make up for the mistake.
Yeah.
How do you make up for the mistake?
So, like in CC, you do a play where you lose out on, let's say, a whole card.
Yep. How do you get that card back?
So I think the way they want to phrase it is something like you have more time for your catch-up mechanics, which is like your power cards or something to, or maybe your deck or your hero to come online to like find a way back into the game as opposed to make up the points.
Okay. So is this about
you make up for the Okay, one, I didn't read Tim's message. Sports in my Flesh of Blood podcast? Timothy. Flesh of Blood is a sport. And then also Larv with, you make up with the mistake by high rolling. Roll scabs.
So you're just it's just variance then.
Sure.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. What's the other way that mistake can be made up for?
Ask for an undo? I don't know. Is this a rhetorical question? Do I know the answer? Okay.
What if your opponent makes a mistake?
They made a mistake.
Sure, but that's one of the ways of like closing the separation, right? All right.
Sure.
So Blitz is going to be higher variance because you're going to see less of your deck and you're going to have less opportunities to see your power cards and all that stuff. So you're going to have swingier games.
Sure. Yeah.
Numerically.
Yes.
Like you are. But you also have less opportunity for your opponent to make a mistake to make up for it.
True.
What if your CC games were good enough quality that they just didn't make a mistake?
I know where this argument's coming from. It's like
that mistake is just as punishing in CC as it is in Blitz.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. You're down 3 health.
So I have a good parallel for this. In Street Fighter 6, there's a character, Akuma. He starts at 1,000 less health than every other character because his kit is busted. He has things that he has things that other characters can do, but like more of them, right? So like there's grabs that the opponent can't interact with. Some characters have those. He has got one of those. There's fireballs. Some characters have different projectiles. He has those. Dive kicks. Just like all the options of things that you can do to like leverage yourself to winning the game. He has them all. Mm-hmm. And so his downside is instead of having an inherent flaw in his game plan, it's that his health is lower. And so my argument for why everyone should be playing him is I have enough faith in myself that I don't make mistakes, and then I just win every engagement because I have more options than everyone else.
Sure.
That's the golden thought process that I would wish to have. It doesn't always pan out because I have human hands and eyes. I have 31-year-old hands and eyes, which is even more incriminating. So my point being is like in Blitz is a little different because it's definitely not dexterity based. Flesh and Blood is not a dexterity game, right? But also it's like if there's less decisions to be made in the game, there's less instances where your opponent makes a mistake. They could just play the game statistically and theoretically perfect the entire game. And then when you make one mistake, you just lose the whole game and that's it.
Yes. So that is part of the argument of why Blitz is a more skill testing format because it is easier for that to happen. Okay. And therefore it's less forgiving. And I'm like, well, what if you just did that in CC instead? Just do that in CC.
Just don't make mistakes.
Nothing magically changes because you go from Blitz to CC for that argument.
Yeah.
for the argument of the way you catch up is your opponent making a mistake to make up for it.
Michael Hamilton has probably won a lot of games by having 1 point extra value by the end of the game, right?
Yes.
Because he's just
Yes.
playing it correctly.
Yes. Like it's that argument to me. So that, because there's two halves to this argument, is Blitz is a higher variance format because it's shorter,
Sure.
just inherently, or it's less time for your opponent to make a mistake. But that argument doesn't work if your opponent just plays CC perfectly as well. Then it's the same, except you also get more time for the deck that you built and the choices you made in deck building to matter. Because that's also the other half of your choices. Is not just how you play the cards, but which cards do you bring?
True.
Do you want those choices to matter half as much?
Oh. My sideboard matters half as much. Technically, maybe. It depends.
Also, if you just see
more on the meta and everything
all of
else.
your sideboard cards that are all Oasis Respite for Blaze, or you see none.
That's the same as CC.
How is that not like inherently?
You have the same percentage of Oasis in your deck as you would in CC. Ish.
Yes, but your life total did not change at a commensurate rate with your deck size.
True. Yeah.
Your life total shrank a larger percent than your deck size.
Yeah.
Which just inherently increases variance.
Yes.
And if you're fine with a higher variance format, that's fine. But this does make for swingier games and higher variance games, and for your choices to matter at a rate that you just control less than CC.
Yeah.
So your deck building choices just matter less.
So speaking of deck building choices, and this is what I was talking to Wyatt about, is he was trying to figure out what Blitz deck he wants to bring to. I'm gonna say it not politely, to try to spike a skirmish event, right? Like he wants to kill people.
Yeah.
In the game of Flesh and Blood.
Yes.
And so
in
game. So he was testing decks and he was just like, wow, it looks like my only options in Blitz are okay. So he was noticing a couple of things. He was like, because of the inherent amount of power cards there are in Flesh and Blood, it felt the best thing you could do, especially in a format so high variance and everything else, is play a deck that can deal 20 damage on either turn 1 or turn 2.
Yep.
It is, and then from there he was like, okay, I narrowed that down to like 3 or 4 decks, and then he just played all of them to see which one felt more consistent, which one had more opportunities for bricks, which one had more opportunities for this, that, or whatever. And I don't remember which one he settled on, but I think at one point we were talking about, okay, if one deck is more inconsistent but has more 23 damage turns as opposed to this one, which is more consistent and has 21 damage turns, play the 21 damage turn deck probably. But we were flipping through like Ira, Syndra, Fies, and did I say Ira? I meant to say Aurora. And so like it was just like, it felt like if you wanted to be competitively viable, specifically to try to win games of Blitz, win events around Blitz, when you have to deal with, gym luck, you have to deal with the variance of the format, you have to deal with, I don't know, deck randomness or whatever. Like, you just, it came down to like 3 decks were like the choice. Like it was like, which aggro deck do you play?
Wyatt is approaching the format kind of the way I probably would, which is you are playing a 20 health format with cards that are balanced around 40 health.
Mm-hmm. Blow that guy up.
Yeah. If you can just present a 25 damage turn, you're just going to win games?
They have to block because their life total demands it.
Yeah.
Your on hit is damage. Your on hit is death.
Yeah, which then they can't pressure you as hard, and you just do it again, and the game ends.
Yeah.
So, like, that's just like an inherent feature of, especially as decks get multiplicative damage stuff like Blood Rush Bellows, like, not Channel Lightning Valley exactly, but like that's Channel Lightning Valley is like the codex
it's
problem of it gets solid value on this turn and next turn.
It's like if you had decks in CC that, well, it doesn't quite work, right? So like if you had decks that could deal percentage-wise 110% of opponent's health in a turn, but that's not entirely true because your hand blocks for a higher value percentage value of your health. Like if your 4 cards block 12 in Blitz, that's a higher percentage of life it saves than in CC.
Sure.
Which it's just when you scale it down, it doesn't there's a difference.
The maths.
Quantum physics works very different than regular physics. Scaling down doesn't always translate directly.
No, and it's funny how it could have scaled down to 30, and this would be a very different conversation, I think.
And that's interesting. But I want Clark Moore to come on and tell us why they say Blitz does feel more open than CC. So what I've noticed, and I don't know if this is 100% true, but the people who say Blitz are open are playing the decks. They're playing their pet decks. They're playing their pet decks into each other, and they're like, wow, these are really close games. And it's not your pet deck against Aurora.
I could see that. I do also want to address their question of equipment usage being more important
okay. Yeah.
in Blitz. Because I actually just disagree with that one.
Oh.
Because you're getting the same as like a mistake of 3 is a mistake of 3 in both games.
Sure.
Because you can your opponent doesn't make a mistake, they play perfectly, it doesn't matter what life total you started at, you're down by 3. If you get 12 value out of your entire equipment suite, you can do that in either format.
Sure.
And it's still 12. Same as a mistake is worth 3. What happens in CC, though, is you actually have to make more choices where, what if I could get one more point of value out of this piece of equipment 2 turns down the line?
Like with Arcanite Skullcap back in the days.
Yes. There's the depth of those choices has just increased by a factor of 2.
Okay. I can see
you
that.
have twice as many potential points to use your equipment at, and evaluating that this is the correct one just got harder. Because it's like you're not just dead next turn if you don't. That's an easy choice to make. Use my equipment now, or I don't, and I'm dead next turn. But if I have 5 turns, it's like, well, do I need to keep Crown of Providence for the next Leave No Witnesses, or is this the correct one to block? It's always the correct one to block in Blitz. You just do it.
Yeah.
And you keep your 5-card hand. That's not interesting.
It's less interesting, right? There could be an opportunity where you have 2 times where it's like
you might have 2, but you're not gonna have 4.
True. Yeah.
CC, you'll have 4.
At least.
Which makes using your equipment correctly.
I've resolved CNC 6 times in a game.
And I say that because Halo.
Oh,
How many opportunities in a game do I have to use Halo?
1.
Well, I get to use it 1 time.
Opportunities. Yes, of course.
Am I able to make the choice at? Is so many.
In Blitz, it's like 2.
I'm going to have like 3.
2 or 3. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It might be 1.
It might be 1.
It might be 1.
It might be.
It might be you are at 16. You have 1 choice.
Yes. That's so much less interesting
Turn
than
0.
32.
Yes.
Like that, because the idea that like, oh, you have to squeeze as much value out of your equipment as possible. It's like, well, halfway, but you also just have to cash it in because otherwise you're just dead. And you don't have opportunities to like play that game of, do I need to keep this? And I'm going to reference this card right here that's on my wall behind me.
Oh.
That's Coronet Peak. Because I was reminded this last weekend when I played an LL skirmish of the choice of when you block with Coronet Peak as Icelander is so goddamn important.
Yeah.
Because you have to weigh, do I need this for Channel Lake Frigid? Am I going to be able to keep a Channel Lake Frigid by attacking? Or I'm going to have to give cards? Do I need to keep it just for disruption? Do I need to keep it for the 2 block later? Like, It's so important, and the choice is just easy in Blitz. It's like, just give it up. You're never going to keep a CLF. If you don't have it already, you're just done. Don't worry about it.
It's
You're
easy because it's either like
Peak and Stonewall Gauntlet, and that's it.
the first time they attack you with something you want to block with it, or the opportunity arises, you're just like, do I have CLF already? No?
Yeah.
All right.
Is a CLF in my arsenal? No? All right.
Okay, so I want to take another aside real quick. I think I said this at the top, but I want to make sure. This is purely looking at it from I want to win like events. I want to win games. If you want to play Blitz in a more casual setting, this conversation becomes an opinion, and then there's not as much discussion.
This conversation is moot if you're playing casually.
Yeah, if you're playing casually,
just play whatever.
Just even kind of if you just want to play Blitz at an armory.
Yeah,
it's just play what you want to play. This is more of like a skirmish.
Their argument was that Blitz is a more skill testing format than CC. That's what
it needs.
That's when I take issue.
It needs
not,
so much work
more,
to get to that point.
Not this is what I prefer for armories is Blitz because it starts at 7 p.m. on a Tuesday night, and I need to get home and be able to have dinner.
I feel like there's a much bigger argument to have that if the format was curated a little bit more. If there was a lot more bans, if there was a lot more, which is already Blitz has a ton of bans.
It's just
like half of the Wizard card pool is banned.
It's just gonna be Project Blue.
I kind of hope so because I've been loving every single Project Blue game I've played, and there's a lot of Blitz games I've played where it's like the game ends in 2 turns.
The game functionally ends in 2 turns, even if you play out 3 more.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say an argument that DM Armada said, which I think is a good argument. I think let me rephrase that. I think it was very well put, and I think it's very. I liked how he said it. It sounds really great, but what he said was, okay, and this is why I brought up the previous point is because what he said was, all right, you played a game of Blitz, you lost in 2 turns, variance happened, or you made the one mistake. Sleeve up and play another game.
That's a casual argument. That is not it is a more skill testing format, or it is if you want to argue that is a better format for the casual player, okay, that's fine. Yes, it is. That is what Blitz is good for.
I do think if
I have an hour and a half and I want to jam a couple games.
Yeah, I do think
real quick,
Flesh and Blood probably does need a much faster format for a casual scene. Either it needs to be D&D long, like you were playing a 2-hour UPF game, or it needs to be 15 minutes. It needs to be, hey, I got a few minutes after dinner. I don't want to do anything too stressful. Do you want to catch a game of Project Blue real quick? Like something that's super casual.
Yeah. So this is not a 1-to-1 correlation of health of format.
Okay.
CC has 24 cards banned at the moment.
Okay.
And Blitz has 28.
Oh, that's more.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was more, but I wasn't sure. I knew they were close.
They got a lot closer
Blitz
with the book bannings.
True.
But they just have all the wizard cards on there, plus Hadron Collider and Flicker Wisp. Which Flicker Wisp would have been banned in CC anyways.
It's true. Yes. It probably will be in the future, but...
like some of these are cards where it's like, yeah, that probably should have been banned in CC, but that's just this is what happens also when you have a 20 health format.
And
you don't
my speculation. I have two little speculative things, which is if Blitz does not receive a ban this coming Monday. They are not concerned about it, and they are looking long-term later at the format because I think there's a lot of problems with specifically the more competitive-focused metagame of Blitz that are not being addressed.
I agree.
I don't know. And then my other argument is like the only other thing that I think would make Blitz more interesting. Okay, so I think bans have to happen if you ever want to think of this as like anything above a skirmish level.
Oh yes.
I think
Oh,
I think
God, yes.
bans
No,
have to happen.
They need to give this the LL treatment, where they actually
Another
go in and make it.
option, and this isn't a flavor of the month idea. This is something I've thought about before this week. Was I think what Blitz could use to maybe be better is what's another 20 life format that's high variance, high volatility. You could lose to variance. What's another format that can be like that?
UPF.
No, I'm actually thinking broader than that.
Smash Palace?
Even more broader than that. Modern.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think they could go to best of 3 with Blitz, and it would be more interesting.
I would like that more.
Right? I think that's not a terrible idea. If had more bands and best of 3, I'd go to a battle hard. Limited. Limited. I love limited. Oh, that's really loud. Sorry. I love limited. Modern Magic the Gathering, to be most specific. Huh?
I do like where they've been headed with limited.
Limited is so good. Oh, what?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Modern and Blitz feel very
similar.
That feels like a pretty apt comparison.
It's so good.
Some people are going to be like, but Modern is very high power and skill testing and then
and high variance, because I drew up my hand in Modern and had 1 land, so I shipped it, and then my next hand had 0, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll mulligan again. This one also has 0, and it's like, I guess I'm going down to 4. Frick.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You're losing your jam quick games aspect with the best of 3. Yeah. Yes, you are.
Well, competitively, you are, but you're not trying to do that competitively. You're still just going to play however many games you have time for. Top 8 BO3? Sure. That'd be sick.
Speaking of the next speaking of the next topic. There's messages going on in the Discord. I have to they're replies to replies to replies.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
All I'm going to say on that is Mastery Pack Guardian was Valda Armory deck plus, which is cool.
Correct.
And then also Crack Shuffle and Play, actually really fun in this. I've
heard good things about it.
Smash Palace has also been a smash hit, and I think I said this before, but I think event decks, or as they call them now, but at the time I was saying what is it in Commander where you have the rotate planeswalking? Planescape decks in UPF.
Like that. I don't think that's it.
Yeah, I think that is it.
Plane Chase?
Plane Chase, that's it. You got it. I knew it was something with plane in it. Plane Chase, Kevin, our resident Magic the Gathering expert, Plane Chase is something that UPF needs. Because I think the interesting thing about, just slight tangent, the interesting thing about UPF is the fact that you can only attack and target to your right and left, but it ruins the game. Because one person starts getting ahead and pressuring the 2 people beside him, which alleviates room to the person furthest from him, and then those 2 players just end up skyrocketing in value and in life and in everything else, and then it turns into a 1v1 basically. Not fun. So some amount of disrupting that norm, casual level, Mario Kart bullcrap is great, actually. Honestly, if Flesh and Blood is a fighting game, CC is like Street Fighter, and LL is like Tekken, and then
it's like Smash Bros.
No, UPF is like Smash Bros. And the fun part about 4-player Smash Bros is when items are on, because you can play with your little brother and they still have a fun time and sometimes win. So I say turn items on for UPF. These event decks are awesome, and I have died to the event deck twice.
Twice now?
Yes. There's a card that deals damage, and you have to meet a condition, and I have met that condition. It's funny when the event deck kicks someone when they're down. It is funny. It's great. Okay, so Blitz best of 3 bans. I think that's what it needs to be, a better format. We don't love it right now. I'd love to argue with this more. Y'all should do DM Armada, if you're listening, Agroblaze, you should do a follow-up video where you don't invite us on and you argue what we said, and then we just go back and forth on our respective podcasts.
We can correspondence chess this shit.
I'm the highest rating I've ever been in chess lately. So I'm
Nice.
I'm pretty fresh and froggy for it. This is a great moment where I'm going to take it a little aside, and I'm going to say, if you're watching the stream, you should also watch the stream we're doing on Saturday, where we play Smash Palace, and we're going to be cracking it open the day after it comes out. It's going to be awesome. Not Kevin. We mean other people. All right, to the next topic. We were talking about best of 3s. LSS was talking about a best of 3s for a while now, I guess, because they came out with an announcement. World's format. No limited. 0 limited. However, top 8. So, like, it's going to be Classic Constructed and Living Legend, but top 8 is Classic Constructed and Living Legend. Because all of the rounds are going to be best of 3. Do you want to give more? All the top 8 matches are going to be best of 3. All those top 8 rounds. Yeah. Do you want to give more context to that? Or not context, but like...
I don't know. I think it's good. I think it's sick. I think they're going to have to do weird stuff for coverage because of it.
Sure. What are the... How is it structured, I guess, is my question.
So you are paired the normal way. So like first seed plays 8th seed. First seed for the first game will either get to choose the format or if they go first or second. The other person gets the other choice. So if they want to pick CC, then 8th seed gets to choose whether they go first or second. If they don't care which format, then they'll get to choose first or second. And the other person will pick the format.
Mm-hmm.
Game 2 is always the other format from game 1.
Fun.
The person who lost game 1 chooses first or second in game 2. And then game 3, the person who lost game 2 chooses format or chooses turn. So I wouldn't... There's some weird like game theory stuff that can come in where you deal with like, do you just want to play 2 games of LL and you sack the CC game 2, or do you want to play 2 games of CC, or can you just beat them in both? So you'd rather have turn selection in the first game to try and get that. Like, there's gonna be some interesting metagaming for that in terms of like choices you make.
I think that's definitely. That's
something people will figure out the night before top 8.
That's literally what I was gonna say. Is I was like, this seems like that kind of stuff is super cool to think about and theorize. I think if you are trying to top 8 worlds this year, that should be nowhere near what you are paying attention to, and then you discuss with that team, depending on your matchups and everything else that happens the night before, because you could get first seed, you could get 8th seed,
dinner, you have the deck lists, and you can easily go through your first match and say, they're going to probably do this, so I do this, and yada yada yada.
Yeah. It's super cool, and I think what's going to be more interesting is like once it happens, like as from a spectator point of view, it's going to be like, oh, so they chose to do this. That means their thought process on the matchup is this, which is kind of interesting. To see if anybody like shock our opinions. There's undoubtedly going to be somebody who has put 0 thought into it until the morning of, and then just kind of gives an answer, and that's going to be funny. I'm super excited, but I think the concept of it is super great, right? So you have I think the reason the Worlds is like been curated this way is like kind of a perfect storm. The impression I get is that this limited format is not going to be the best, most competitive format, and so they may not want that for a major event. But then also they're testing this best of 3 living legend. It's wild that they're testing it at Worlds, but yeah. So Tim says this Worlds format is super cool. He's super excited. Tim, are you going to be in the main event? Is he in the main event?
Not currently.
Not yet.
Something that Runaways did point out yesterday, which I thought was kind of funny, is you can have your CC deck go like 6-6 and win Worlds, and it gets LL points.
Well, if we know anything about Flesh and Blood's competitive scene, it's that the outliers happen.
Yeah.
Pablo Pintor winning the Pro Tour after going 0-2 was, that's like a really outlier, like theoretical thing that people were talking about for a minute. Wouldn't it, technically you can win if you go 0-2, and then someone did, and they were like, wow, okay, you knocked this theoretical out of the way. So it would be funny if that happened. Actually, I think it would be not awesome if it happened, but it would be funny. It's interesting, right? Like it's the whole weekend, like Flesh and Blood top 8s have been always CC, which is the main format. Yes. And so to throw LL into that mix, where in theory, like you could have more LL games in top 8 than CC.
Yeah.
If the players decide to set it up that way. Which means top 8 is decided by LL more than CC. That I think shows a lot of confidence from LSS in the format.
It could be.
Could be.
You start getting into spots where if you pick CC first, you're probably going to play 2 games of CC in that set.
Yeah.
So, like, LL... Because you can play 9 games, win all of your first games and your third games, which could be the same format.
Yeah.
You could lose every single game 2, which is the other format.
Sure.
And you could go 6-0 CC, 0-3 LL. And LL was irrelevant.
That is true. I think on average it's not going to play out like that.
It's unlikely that happens.
Yeah.
But you are going to need to have an LL deck that you are happy with and you are solid on.
Yes.
For sure.
I mean, it's also like...
To make top 8.
Yeah,
You're going to need that.
Oh, you'll need it. You'll need it to make top 8, of course. And also, this only really happens probably if you're first seed. Because, like, if you get 8th seed, you don't get the first choice on format every single time.
Yes. Yeah, no, the seeding matters a lot.
So much.
It matters more.
You do get to choose first or second, but which can matter for certain matchups.
But you could just, like, if your LL matchup is just, like, way better than your CC matchup, you're just going to pick LL and play that twice. Now, they get side selection, which helps mitigate poor matchups, as does getting to play it twice. But we might have some weird stuff happen where, like, game 2 just kind of doesn't matter. Depending on what the meta looks like and all that stuff.
I hope it matters. I mean, that's always the hope, but, like, you know. Because it'd be super hype if it's like, I'm undoubtedly somebody, like, the person who doesn't get, priority on the format wins the first game. Yeah. Like, that shakes the whole thing up. So much pressure. Momentum.
Suddenly you're going LLCCCC or vice versa.
Yeah.
Which is...
Or maybe you're just like, oh, wait, actually, I just totally figured this out.
Yeah.
Oh, there's also the, like, concept that I've heard a lot where it's like, they'll be like, I matched into this person in Swiss and I beat them. Then I matched into them in top 8. They beat me because they adjusted and I couldn't adjust as much as they did because I won my game. In best of 3,
you can get the third game.
You can get the third game, kind of, but they're different formats, right? So it could be just like You win your CC game.
Well,
They win the LL game. You get to play the CC game again. You think you're favored. They've adjusted. You didn't. They win.
yep.
Oh gosh, it's like
There's a lot of stuff that's going to be going on with
It's
that, but
so
we need to
much.
see what the meta looks like.
I think
And I want to see what they're doing for coverage.
yes, coverage I think is maybe even more
I have no
interesting than the rest of it, right?
Yeah.
Top 8 matches have no time limit.
Yep.
And so this is going to be a real test of the judges' ability to enforce slow play.
I mean, they're not doing it sequentially. They can't. That's up to 21 games. They physically cannot do that. We don't have the haul for that long.
It's a lot, like, because there's also like players being shuffled around. So okay, they could
have
do
something figured out. They have something figured out. It's not sequentially. There's a couple different ways they can do it, where it's just like they have a double setup, so you have 2 quarterfinals at a time, and you have 4 matches that you go through. You could also run all of the quarterfinals simultaneously and the semis simultaneously, and you literally have 3 backup streams, which are just recordings that will go up on the site. Because I think if
they could also, I mean, like, they could also just, they put the game on a delay anyways. They could just stream for like too long. Like they could just like play back the games in the stream in sequential order. However, in real life, they played them all at the same time. Right? So they do all the quarterfinals at the same time in real life, and then on stream they play one, and then they play the other, and then the other, and then the other. And you see all 4 of them.
It would have to work the other way. Their delay works the other way, where they've been playing games, and then they catch up to live. What you're saying is... Because, okay, you're saying that they would basically be playing the first quarterfinal live.
Yeah.
And then they stream the next 3, which also they're not going to be able to do because we literally can't be in the venue that long.
Stream from outside the venue?
Then we're doing the winner's interview 2 days later.
Oh, that's true. Oh, gosh. I don't want to see sped up top 8 games. That sounds miserable. I want to watch. I want to like indulge in the top 8 games.
I think they do some amount of it live, and they have the full recordings of each of the games up on the site the next day. But like you either do all the quarterfinals simultaneously and only show one of them, and then you show both semifinals matches and then the finals match, and that like literally closes the hall down. Or you do 2 quarterfinals at the same time, 2 quarterfinals at the same time, semis at the same time, and then finals, where you have 2 streams.
That one sounds good.
That one sounds totally fine.
They like have literal 2 streams, like they have Fab 1 stream,
Yes.
Fab 2 stream.
Yes.
You need a second channel. You can watch stream 1 on Twitch, and you can watch stream 2 on YouTube, or something like, or the other way around. That would be funny.
I assume they have this figured out. They have a way that they're going to do it. I trust them to do it in a way that like
That does sound kind of cool because you could like bounce between the 2 streams.
Yeah,
you'd have to have all your
between
casters running.
games.
Oh, do you know how many casters you need? Because you're gonna need people to give breaks, and then also like.
Do we know the whole casting? We don't know any of the casting
no, we don't know
team
any
for
of the
World.
casting team for World.
They could have 6 casters for World.
They could have 8.
They could have 8.
Frick. Also, I think the odds of them doing that lower the chances for us seeing a recorded calling, lower chances for us seeing a recorded battle hardened, which I also wish was a thing.
But we also just have like at least double the content from top 8.
Oh, true. True. You do get so
Like,
many games. You get
minimum
LL games.
double.
You get CC games.
Yes, and we're guaranteed one of each from each match.
Yeah, that's fair. It's so interesting. How this is just
And
panning
also,
out.
by the time the finals are happening, like they can do the finals of the calling and the battle hardened then if they want to, because they'll only have one stream set up. But
Some people have been asking
think-
about, you know, do you need to have 6 copies of CNC if you have it in your CC deck and your LL deck? I think there's no chance of that. I thought maybe for a second, but like I think there's no chance of that. I think they just like, okay, you need to be a professional and you need to be responsible for all the cards in your deck going into the game. I don't care if you only have
a legal deck to your opponent.
Yeah, that's the main thing. And and that there's no extra cards floating around in the deck box areas, you know, everything's separated appropriately when you show up to the game 2, game 3.
I would like clarification that this is what they intend from us. But
they're just like, you can only have you only need to have 1 Heart of Fyendel, but you need 2 cracked baubles, 1 for each deck, that represent the Fyendel.
Sure, that's fine.
That's
easier to do, honestly.
I just think that'd be funny.
Yeah,
it's exciting. I am way more excited for, you know, there was a part of me that was just like, wow, Worlds is like mostly CC. But now it's
just kind of fixed that.
Yeah, this is super cool. I think a lot of people are excited for it too. I'm excited for it because I think LL is in a pretty good spot as well. I
think so. I think we still have a lot to figure out for LL to see where everything actually balances out. But like,
what odds do you
I don't
think
it's inherently in a bad spot?
What odds do you think someone pulls a Michael Hamilton and they have the same CC deck and LL deck? Hero. Not necessarily
I think the Dio
deck.
players are going to do that.
Really? That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be sick. If they deck check both decks. I don't think they're going to check both decks at the same time. They did talk about
a policy that should be figured out before. But like, have the correct 80 in a deck box for the deck you are currently playing. That's where I'm at. Is just like,
sure,
you have to present a legal deck. You will not need. 2 tunics. You will not need. I
don't think you need 2 tunics. No. I think that would be. I think that would be crazy. We're going to be talking about it again on here if they say that. That would be insane.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be problems.
There's problems. Speaking of problems, they did, just real quickly, because we've already beaten this to death, but I do want to bring it up. They've talked about the official page for ProQuest. Yokohama went up. I can't click on it now, but they had it somewhere. Yeah, there we go. So it talks about players getting... I'm going to just read it. The winner of each ProQuest event will receive an invite to Pro Tour Yokohama. If they do, they will be restricted from playing any further ProQuest Yokohama events in order to give other players a chance at winning an invite. That's it. That's all they talk about it.
Sure.
It's not a lot of...
I think that's not the way you actually solve that problem. And there's a way to solve that problem and not prevent people from playing more PQs, but sure.
There's still like a lot of like holes and problems with it too that we've talked about before.
Like the 32 people from Singapore who are already qualified for Yokohama.
They can play in as many events as they want and get in second place.
Yeah, they just scoop every finals and just farm gold foils.
Or even get a double loss in finals if they're trying to scoop and the other person wants to scoop.
They can just get a double loss and not care. And then also you're going to have 75 people who qualify off ELO for Yokohama in fucking, I don't know, 3-5 months or something. And those invites are probably also half going to get burned at least. Half, if not more. Like you're saying it and they're doing it a third of the way. Like the actions just don't match the words, and the words are sparse, and they are few and far between.
I hope there's none of them that I feel I should be pressured to like pre-register for.
There's got to be a fat dev talk after this BNR. It's got to be like 2 hours or something.
It's got to be 2 hours, and it's got to not be
Bluff.
My main boys from Mr. Classic and Kieran riffing on each other the whole time. I love them, and I love it when they do that. But I need a little more explanation on some of these things.
This is a Brian and
Killing
James
me.
Dev talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I want James to tell more Magic the Gathering stories. That's what I want to hear. I actually did think that when he explained his Magic experience, I was like, I kind of get it. I was moved by it. But I'm a sucker. I know that as well.
I understand.
We've been needing a good dev
everything
talk.
in that.
We've been needing a good dev talk. I think that's mostly it. Is there anything else we were going to cover?
I think I'm good.
Sounds good. Clark, I did see what you said about Florian and Verdance. From what I've noticed, those decks just pop like a balloon when placed against certain aggro decks, but
I think Verdance in particular took a big step down with the Stormstriders ban. I understand Florian could do that sometimes. I hesitate to say consistently, or I would be surprised if it is actually consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Verdance would very much surprise me.
Consistent in holding back the pop-off variants that some of these aggro decks are pumping out.
Yeah, even with the Flicker Wisp ban,
Not that I fully disagree. Those are decks you probably could play, but I feel like if you're testing it for a competitive meta and you are trying specifically to win, let's pretend you're planning to go to a battle hardened that's a hypothetical battle hardened that's Blitz, and you have a testing team and you're working really hard to crack the meta, you probably find that those decks don't cut it.
I think so.
Maybe. Maybe. I mean, Blitz is not big enough, and there's not events big enough to where people can test it, but
never lost to a KO and played 3.
KO's not the deck I'm scared of in Blitz. Though there is some pop-off turns KOs can have.
Sure, Blood Rush Bellows is a thing.
I think there's a difference
Purgatory
between
is also very good against Blood Rush Bellows.
I think there's also a difference between
also, is this side events at London? I don't know what level of I am curious what level of event this is played at, because the
Kevin's
calling
saying
was
it's
CC
soft
and the Battle Harden was LL.
I also differentiate between
A swinging deck. Yeah.
I differentiate between proper aggro decks and decks that I'm going to just consider
numbers.
No, it's Dio and KO and Kano and Acilio in CC, where they just kind of have a game
combo.
Yeah, it's pseudo combo. It's not even straight aggro. It's pseudo combo, where it's Aurora's playing 0-for-4s every single turn, and then still every other turn you deal 20 damage.
You miss on a turn and KO double blood rushes you and you take 25.
Yeah, but that's not consistent.
No, it's not.
Aurora dealing 20 damage
Especially
every other
Blitz.
turn is consistent.
Yes.
So, unfortunately. I think that's it. All right. Kevin, you got any shout-outs?
I'm good.
No, you got videos that came out.
I had one.
You had video that came out.
Yeah. I did tournament report from Kansas City.
Heck yeah.
It's average.
It's pretty all right.
It's my best calling placement at 38th.
38th is not bad. 38th out of how many?
It's fine. 415, I think it was.
That's arguably great. I know it's not necessarily what you're looking for.
It's solid.
It's solid. I would be ecstatic. But other than that, Saturday, no streams other than live UPF in-person, Smash Palace, Crack Shuffle Play, Mastery Pack Guardian, all the words. And I will not be playing Victor. For the people who know, in the 2 Smash Palace games that I've played, I randomly was given Victor, and he's broken. Do you know what he does?
He fixes, it's clash fixing, right?
Yes, but do you know the second half of his hero text?
Not off the top of my head.
Crack 3 gold tokens. Your next attack gets +3 and overpower. No, dominate. No, is it dominate or overpower? It's spend no resources because it's just 3 gold to give something +3 and evasion. It kills people. It is the scariest thing at the table. Other than maybe Bravo. My London experience with side events. I think it's, I don't know.
I mean, like, Florian did tie KO for wins in skirmishes.
True.
Last one I saw.
True.
So, like, Florian is definitely up there.
They're both decks.
I buy Verdance being up there, but Florian being able to hang, sure, that makes sense.
And speaking of Florian, remember to go check out our merch at thetablepit-shop.fourthwall.com where you can get shirts that say things like Spectra.
Spectra will continue until morale improves.
I thought the other version was cooler, more interesting. More people have bought the one that you came up with, like the Kevin's idea of a shirt.
Oh, sure.
Which also, I need to mention something to you about this after the show. But if you'd like to help us make the stream look nicer and help us get supplies for project videos, you can support us at patreon.com/thetablepit, where we were able to get a cord for poor Wyatt so that he can get his face on stream last time we did No Blocks. Speaking of No Blocks, not this Saturday. This Saturday we're playing UPF. Please show up. It's going to be awesome. Spectra. Thank y'all so much for watching. Bye.